Welcome back to the Expert's Edge. As a native Montanan, I've had to deal with challenges that most Americans can't even imagine, like driving an hour just to buy groceries or seeing more cows than people on my daily commute. The Treasure State's wide open spaces and rugged frontier lifestyle aren't for everyone, which is why we have less than 1 million residents spread across 147,000 square miles. That's only 6 people per square mile for you math whizzes. Let's just say Montanans, we value their personal space, and we like our neighbors far, far away. The isolation can drive flatlanders crazy, but for those of us hardy enough to handle the cold winters and long distances between towns, Montana is heaven on earth. Just do us all a favor and stay away, will you? We're full up on Californians moving here to escape city life. This is the Wild West, not a luxury resort. Hope you're ready to wrangle, because Montana isn't for the meek or mild. The first reason why Montana is one of the least populated states is Montana's geographical isolation. No wonder no one comes to visit. Have you seen how far away this place is from anything resembling civilization? The nearest airport is 2 days hard ride by horseback. Okay, maybe it's only a few hours drive, but have you seen our roads? Half the time they're covered in snow, the other half they're melting into rivers. Really makes you appreciate what our pioneer ancestors went through, though at least they had an excuse. There was land to homestead. Here's the upside of seclusion. Sure, it's quiet, peaceful, majestic. If stunning vistas and open skies are your thing, you've found paradise. Just don't expect to pop over to the big city for dinner and a show, or anything really. Hope you like the great outdoors, because that's pretty much all we've got. And here's the downside of Nowhereville. Good luck attracting any major industries or employers out here. Not a lot of infrastructure or amenities to entice them. And don't get me started on accessing resources. Everything has to be trucked or flown in from somewhere else. No wonder the cost of living is so high. All told, Montana's isolation has its charms, but for most folks, the remoteness is more deterrent than selling point. Our sparse population density is no mystery. This place just isn't for everyone. But for those hardy independent souls who make the trek, the rewards of solitude and natural splendor are worth the effort. The next reason is the harsh climate of Big Sky country. Forget the scenic vistas and wide open spaces. This place will kill you. Literally, the weather in Montana makes the 7th circle of hell look balmy. In the winter, temperatures plunge to negative 60 degrees, Fahrenheit turning exposed skin into frostbitten jerky in minutes. Not even the hardiest mountain man can survive long in that kind of cold without losing valuable extremities. Come summer, it's the opposite problem. Scorching heat that fuels massive wildfires across thousands of acres of bone-dry forest. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Of course, that's not even mentioning the violent spring snowstorms, autumn windstorms, or random hailstorms of golf ball-sized ice cubes that can pound down at any time. The storms here don't mess around. After a few encounters with Mother Nature's fury, even the staunchest outdoors enthusiast may find themselves booking the next flight out of Missoula. Who could blame them? This harsh climate alone is enough to deter all but the hardiest, most masochistic souls from calling Big Sky country home. For the rest of us, it's probably best appreciated from a distance, through the lens of stunning photography or the pages of adventure stories. At least there, you can enjoy the views without risking life or limb. The third reason is limited entertainment and cultural venues. If the great outdoors are your idea of a wild Friday night, you'll love Montana. For the rest of us, the social scene leaves something to be desired, unless you count rodeos, honky-tonks, and square dances as culture. We're fresh out. My town's idea of fine dining is the local diner with a jukebox that only plays country music. Let's talk about the nightlife. Don't expect to find any hip nightclubs or craft cocktail bars here. After 9 p.m., the sidewalks roll up, and the only thing open is the 24-hour diner. The dating scene is equally bleak. If you're not into cowboys or survivalists, you may face a long, lonely winter. What about arts and culture? We're not exactly an arts mecca either. The closest thing we have to a museum is the taxidermy shop, and our theaters tend to favor musicals like Oklahoma over anything written after 1950. While the scenery is stunning, the cultural landscape is bare. Unless you count scenic drives and hiking as hobbies, Entertainment options are sparse. Some say the isolation and natural setting are appealing. I call it dull. For a cultural adventurer or social butterfly, living in Montana could be a special kind of purgatory. The rugged individualists and outdoor enthusiasts may thrive, but for the rest of us, the limited entertainment and nightlife would drive us to madness. The morale of the story: visit Montana for the views, but live somewhere else if culture and society are your thing. The fourth reason is the high cost of living. Living in Big Sky country comes with a big price tag. Everything from a loaf of bread to a plot of land will cost you an arm and a leg. I should know. I've called this state home for 15 years now. Fuel prices are higher here thanks to the distances between towns. Unless you plan on riding a horse everywhere, you'll be driving a lot, so gas money adds up quick. Housing is scarce, so rent and mortgages cost more. Want an acre of land? Be prepared to shell out some serious cash. I was lucky to snag my little slice of paradise years ago, before prices skyrocketed. The state's natural beauty and outdoor recreation opportunities attract plenty of tourists, which helps boost the economy. But for us locals, that tourism comes with a cost: higher sales taxes and living expenses. We pay more at stores and restaurants to offset the seasonal ups and downs. Everything has a scenic tax slapped onto it. Some say Montana's cost of living isn't too bad compared to other places, but they probably haven't tried to make a living here. Our incomes can't always keep up with the increasing costs. Many of us live paycheck to paycheck or take second jobs to get by. For a state with so much natural wealth, the cost of tapping into it can make you feel poor as a church mouse. But we stay for the lifestyle, the pace of life, the sense of community, the easy access to nature. The stunning vistas and open spaces nourish the soul in a way money never could. The high cost of living in Montana is worth it for the chance to live in a little slice of paradise. Our bank accounts may suffer, but we're rich in all the ways that really matter. The final reason that makes Montana one of America's least populated states is the lack of diversity. Look, I'm not saying Montana's lacking in diversity makes it a bad place. I'm just saying that as someone who enjoys eating food from around the world and listening to music other than country, this state may not be for me. Don't get me wrong, the natural scenery is stunning, and the pace of life suits someone in need of peace and quiet. But between the lack of faux joints, taco trucks, and decent radio stations, a guy can only take so much solitude before going stir-crazy. Montana's overwhelmingly white population means I'd have to drive over an hour just to find a half-decent burrito. And good luck catching that new exhibit at the museum. What museum? The closest thing to culture here is cowboy poetry night at the local saloon. Some may find bliss in Big Sky country, but without a diverse community and access to basic amenities, this place remains sparsely populated for good reason. The geographic isolation is enough to make anyone feel marooned. While the natural beauty attracts visitors, the day-to-day realities of living in rural Montana ultimately send most packing, for places with, shall we say, a few more comforts of civilization. For better or worse, diversity in landscape, culture, and cuisine is what this lone wanderer seeks. Off to find my tribe. So there you have it, folks. The treasure state has its treasures and its trials. Sure, the wide open spaces and big sky views are to die for. But good luck finding a decent bagel or keeping your digits warm through a harsh winter. At least the bears, wolves, and mountain lions help thin the crowds a bit. For better or worse, Montana marches to the beat of its own wilderness drum. The last best place has carved out a niche between untamed and uninhabitable. Only the hardy, the adventurous, and the antisocial need apply. So be sure to pack your fleece long johns and bear spray if you're fixing to call Big Sky country your home on the range. Just don't expect a lively social scene unless you count the lively possibility of being eaten by wildlife. Happy trails.